right, so for starters, you can have a little blanket or a bolster or something to sit on. I'm sitting on a bolster, but you can sit on a pillow if you want. You get to choose. So having your hips a little elevated will help in keeping some tension released from your lower back. And perfect. I will recommend some props for tonight, but they are not required at all. So just in a simple seated, so legs crossed. And if this is uncomfortable for you, you can always just bring your feet out in front too. So once again, these are all invitations that I will be offering as we go through this practice. So my name is Dusty Suela. I'm here for Yin Yoga. Judy is here as well, and she's really anxious for some attention this evening, so she'll be joining us for practice tonight. So let's just place our hands on our thighs, and then I want you to lift up through the crown of the head. So lengthen the spine, and then we're going to go ahead and soften our gaze or close our eyes. And the reason I personally like to do this at the beginning of practice is because I like to tune in. So I would like you to notice how you're feeling, mentally, physically, emotionally. Remembering just notice, no judgment. And just take a couple breaths. Just breathe naturally. Noticing any sounds or smells in the room that you're in, or if you're outside. Relaxing your shoulders just a little bit as you kind of sink into this simple seated. Noticing the earth beneath you. Noticing any air movement around you. And then bringing that word to mind that you would like to focus on throughout this practice. It can be an affirmation. It can be just a simple word. It can be a mantra. Maybe a prayer. You get to choose. This is your practice. So bringing that word to mind and thinking about what that word means to you. Just for a moment. Now bringing to mind, as you bring that word to mind, I want you to imagine that word down in your belly area, just below your belly button. And then as we slowly start to inhale, I want you to imagine that word floating up through the spine into the heart center. Inhale a little bit more, bring that word up into the throat. And then filling the lungs completely, I want you to lift all the way up through the crown of the head. The lungs are completely full. And I want you to pause for just a moment. And then we're going to slowly exhale, letting that word float back down through the throat, the heart, into the belly. Letting all of that air out. Pause. Again, let's inhale slowly. Lifting through the crown, filling the lungs. Pause, and then exhale. We're going to continue to do this for 4 or 5 times. And as you inhale, that word moves up the spine, so continue to inhale. Pause, and then exhale. We're going to imagine that word kind of moving through the body, moving through the center of the body. Again, inhale. Pause. And exhale. So continuing to flow through that breathing pattern at your own pace. Inhaling fully. and exhaling fully. And as you think about that word, trying not to resist it at all, or coming up with any excuses why you can't maybe bring that into your body, or why you have been struggling to keep that word in your mind, or bringing that word into your body. As we move through this practice this evening, remembering that you can do anything, absolutely anything that you set your mind to. Anything that you set your body to. Anything that you set your soul to. As we move through some of these practices this evening with Yin Yoga, we're going to get comfortable feeling a little uncomfortable in some of these poses. Noticing if something is painful and if you need to come out of the pose. But if it's just uncomfortable, as you find your edge, to breathe through it, just as you're breathing right now. Let's take one more big cleansing breath. And then this time, as you exhale, I want you to exhale through the mouth with a little sigh breath out. So like you're fogging up a mirror. Very good. Continuing to keep your eyes closed if that feels good to you. We're going to bring our arms down to the side. And then we're going to take a big inhale. I want you to bring your arms all the way up above your head. Big, big stretch, lengthening, lifting through the crown, spreading the fingertips. And then exhale, release your arms slowly down, releasing all of the air. Again, inhale, arms come up. And exhale to release the arms down. On this next breath up, we're going to look up towards the ceiling as we bring our arms up, looking up towards the hands. And then exhale, release all the air as we bring our chin to our chest, releasing the arms all the way down. Noticing the stretching, the lengthening, inhale up. Exhale, release down. Slowly bring the chin towards the chest. One more time, big inhale, bring the arms up, looking up towards the ceiling. We're going to bring the palms of the hands together, and then as we exhale, we're going to release the hands to heart center. Following the hands to the chest. Let's go ahead and release the hands now. Bring the hands back to the knees. We're going to roll the shoulders back, and then we're going to make a couple head rotations. So just small little circles to start. And with each of these poses and each of these movements, I want you to notice how the body feels. Where is that tension? Where is that stress? Slowly make these circles just a little bit bigger. As you bring the chin to the chest, rolling through. You can make these circles as big as you would like, or keep them as small as you would like. You get to choose. So working through some of the stressors from the day, from the weekend, from anything from the past that you might be holding on to a little bit of stress and tension. We'll go one more time through, bringing it back to center. And then we're going to slowly go through the other side, go to the other side. With each side of the body that we move through, you'll notice that it feels a little bit different, maybe a little bit more flexible, a little less tension. And that just means that you're normal. Make your circles just a little bit bigger. As you bring your chin to your chest, rolling all the way through. We'll slowly bring it back to center. Very good. Let's take one more big inhale. Bring the arms all the way up above the head. Exhale, release the arms down and behind the back. This time I want you to interlace your fingers behind your back and then slowly straighten your arms as you open up your heart so you can tilt your head back, looking up towards the ceiling. And exhale, go ahead and release the hands to the thighs. We're now going to bring it onto all fours. So go ahead and move your pillow out of the way or whatever you were sitting on. So hands are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. You can choose whether your feet are flat or your toes are tucked. And we're just gonna roll through cat and cow a couple times. So pressing into the palms. Let's take a big inhale, roll through cow. So lifting through the crown of the head and the tailbone. Letting your belly expand, stretch. And then exhale, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. Bring it through cow and through cat. Big inhale, roll through cow. And slowly exhale through cat. So I like to keep my eyes closed so that I can truly feel all the emotions, the tension, the stress that my body might be releasing as I roll through these poses. Go ahead and roll through cat and cow at your own pace, a couple times in each direction. You're welcome to move your hips or your shoulders from side to side as you roll through the poses. Remembering that this is your practice, do what feels good. We'll go one more time in each direction. And we're going to bring it back to a neutral spine. So we're going to come back into one of the poses that can be one of the most uncomfortable of all yin poses. And we're going to tuck the toes. So tuck the toes under. And then we're going to bring our glutes back to our heels. So your toes are tucked, we're stretching our feet, and then we're gonna bring it back. So sitting on your heels, your toes are tucked. And if this gets to be too uncomfortable, always come up because this can be a pretty intense pose. And we're gonna hold this for about 45 seconds. So I'd like you to close your eyes. Remember, if it gets to be too much, you come out of this pose. Relaxing your jaw, relaxing your shoulders, and then taking those big cleansing breaths that we took at the beginning of practice. As you exhale, let's exhale with a sigh through the mouth. Again. Exhale. One more time, big inhale. And exhale, let's go ahead and release the hands back to the earth. Release the toes. And I want you to pat the toes out just gently, just on the earth. So after any yin pose, we have a few seconds and it's called the rebound. So this time we're going to keep our feet flat, so our toenails are on the earth. And then we're going to walk our hands back, and then we're going to bring our glutes to our heels. So this is stretching our ankles this time. A couple options here. You can keep your hands on your thighs, or you can bring your arms to heart center or your hands to heart center, rolling your shoulders back. If you can't really feel this or it doesn't feel like anything, you're welcome to bring the knees up off the earth. So a nice little stretch here. And I will choose to close my eyes as we take 3 big cleansing breaths here. Set your own pace. One more big breath. Go ahead and release the hands back to the earth. And then as we stretch this out, you can bring the leg back, the right leg back, as you stretch through the calf. And then the left, if that feels good to you. So this rebound time is really important because that fascia layer is kind of going back to its original state with a little bit of extension, stretching, since it's been stretched. Very good. All right. We're gonna bring our knees wide this time. Big toes are gonna come together. And then we're just gonna release the glutes back into Balasana, into child's pose, extended child's pose. So reach your arms out towards the top of your mat, and then we're gonna release the forehead, the elbows, and the wrists all the way down. And just releasing any tension that you might have here in your body. As we stretch the shoulders, we stretch the space between the shoulders, opening the heart as you release the heart towards the earth, opening the hips, and the space on your back between your hips. We're going to hold this pose for about another minute here. And the 3 laws of Yin Yoga is to first find your edge. So you're not to the point of pain. Being kind with your body as you find your edge. And then to be fully still. The last law is to surrender to time. Not stressing about the time, how long it's been, or how much time you have left in this pose. Just really to be kind to your body, to have some inner peace. We're going to slowly bring it back to the present, and we're going to bring it back up to all fours. Let's press into the palms, take a big inhale, roll through cow. And exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. We're going to bring it back to a neutral spine. And we're going to bring it to puppy pose here. So puppy pose, your glutes are going to stay up just as they are right now. And then what we're going to do is we're going to walk our hands out. So kind of like I've seen my dog do this. So we're going to walk our hands out. So we're really going to stretch our shoulders. And then release your forehead down, keeping your glutes up. And letting your heart sink towards the earth. Once again, finding your edge, finding stillness, and surrendering through to the time.
take 3 big cleansing breaths here. And with the exhale, let's release through the mouth. One more big cleansing breath. And exhale.
Engaging your palms, we're going to slowly walk the hands back under the shoulders. And then you're welcome to move from side to side as we stretch the shoulders just a little bit. Move as you need to move. And then this next pose we're going to do, we're going to bring it back. So we're going to cross our ankles over and we're going to sit it back on our buns. And we're going to come into, and we're just sitting on the ground. And we're going to come into butterfly. So the feet, the bottoms of the feet are going to come together. And with this, you're welcome to interlace the fingers and bring them around the toes if you choose. You can also just hold on to the ankles. And then we're going to take a big inhale. I want you to lift through the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, this first exhale, just let your knees fall towards the earth as you feel that gravity pull your knees towards the earth. So opening the inner thigh. Relaxing the outer hips. And just letting the lower body just kind of relax as you feel that pull of gravity on the body. And this next breath, we're going to lift through the crown. And you can stay just as you are, or you can walk your hands out and come into a little bit of a forward fold. So this is going to stretch your neck and your lower back. As well as the inner thighs. If you have a block handy, you're welcome to bring the block underneath the forehead. Or you're welcome to just let the head kind of hang out here. As you feel that stretch in the back of the neck. And then we're going to surrender to the time here for about a minute. Noticing how the body feels. Feeling the earth beneath you. Feeling the air movement around you. Noticing any sounds or smells as you release and surrender into this pose. Let's take one more big cleansing breath here. So fill the lungs completely. And exhale, sigh, breath out. We're going to slowly bring it back to the present and walk our hands up. Very good. And then we're going to bring our hands behind our backs and then bring your knees up so your feet are on the earth. Knees are bent, and then we're just going to let the knees fall right to left like windshield wipers. So just letting that fascia get back to kind of its spot after being stretched out quite a bit. And that butterfly pose is great for relaxation. It's also great to relieve stress. It's also great to open up the root in the sacral chakra. chakras. Let's go ahead and bring it back to center. All right. This time we're going to bring the right leg out. The left leg is going to stay in near the left foot near the inner right thigh. And then we're going to bring our hands up. I want you to frame your shoulders with your right leg. So we're going to lift up through the crown. And to add to this pose, you can do this if you'd like, if you choose or not. But you can flex that right foot up towards the ceiling. Now we're going to take that big inhale, fill the lungs completely, and then we're going to slowly exhale, walking the hands down and walking the forehead towards that right knee. Remembering, find your edge. So my poses may look a little bit different than yours, and that is okay. Yours look different than mine. So releasing any tension in the body, in the backs of the thighs, and those hamstrings and the glutes. Also in the left outer hip. You're welcome to flex that right foot if you want to add to this just a little bit, or if you need to straighten that right foot. Maybe bend just a little bit deeper towards that right thigh. Remembering these are all invitations. And let's take 3 big cleansing breaths in this pose. Let's sigh breath out.
Again, inhale and exhale.
Slowly walk the hands up. Very good. So for some of us, that might be really intense. So we're just going to take a moment here. You can bend that knee if you'd like and kind of move a little bit behind that thigh if it was really tight within that hamstring. And then we're going to move the left foot out this time. The right foot comes to the inner thigh. You can choose to flex that left foot. And then framing the shoulders, squaring up the shoulders with that left thigh. We're going to take a big inhale, lift through the crown, keeping a straight spine as you walk those hands out, bringing the forehead towards that knee, the left knee. So finding your edge once again. You can let the head kind of hang as you stretch the back of the neck. And once you have found your edge, we're going to take some time here, so surrendering to the time, and taking those 3 or 4 cleansing breaths. So if you find that your shoulders are really tense, try to relax your shoulders just a little bit. If you're finding that your right thigh is really tight and really tense, try to release the right thigh, as well as the left thigh that you are really stretching here. Take 1 more big cleansing breath. Exhale, sigh breath out. And then we're going to slowly walk our hands up. You can bend that knee once again on the left side. And just kind of work it out just a little bit. My left side is always way more tight and has a lot more tension than my right side, always, for whatever reason. All right, we're gonna keep that left leg out. And then we're gonna bring the right leg out as well. So if you guys have that pillow that you are sitting on, you're welcome to grab that pillow again. I'm gonna use my block here. So if you can make that pillow however you like, but my legs are out and I'm gonna give you a couple options here, but let's take that big inhale, lifting through the crown. Very good. I want you to curve your lumbar spine a little bit, almost like you're pressing your tailbone towards the back of the room. And then we're gonna slowly exhale to walk your hands out and then come on down to your elbows if that feels good for you. If not, that is okay. You can use that pillow under your head, or you can just stay as you are right here and just let your body, your lower body's gonna stay just as it is. But we're doing these poses, so if you're thinking to yourself, I'm not very flexible, I can't go very far forward, that's okay. That is totally okay. That's why we're doing this, so we get more flexible and we release some of that tension that we have built up in our bodies. I say this often, but our issues live in our tissues. So a lot of times why we are so tense and tight and not very flexible is because we have a lot of tension and we have a lot of stressful things going on in our lives. So let's take those 3 cleansing breaths at your own pace. And with each exhale, I want you to try to sink just a little bit deeper into this pose. Also remembering there's no judgment here. You are doing a wonderful, wonderful job. And on that exhale, let's sigh breath it out. So one more time, big cleansing breath. And exhale. Very good. We're going to slowly walk our hands up. And then we're going to bring our legs to center. So bring your legs together. And then bend the knees once again. Bring your hands back behind your back. And then we're just going to let the knees fall right to left. Very good. All right. Wonderful job. All right, so this time we're going to bring it onto our bellies. So I'm going to move my camera just a little bit so that you guys can see me. So I'm going to lay flat on my belly. And then I'm going to reach my toes towards making myself as long and tall as possible. And then I'm going to bring my right hand out to the side. It's out at my side. My left hand is just right by my left chest, my left side of my ribs. Perfect. And then we're going to press into that left hand and we're going to roll back onto the right shoulder. So we're stretching the front part of that rotator cuff. Always, always listen to your body. So if you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is awful, don't push too hard. You're welcome to keep the legs stacked as they are. You can also bring the left foot behind the right knee. Go ahead and try to relax your head, the right side of your head to the earth. So finding your edge. And then breathing into this a little bit as you stretch that front part of the shoulder. You're doing wonderful. Let's take those 3 cleansing breaths. And on the exhale, go ahead and sigh breath out if that feels good to you. One more big cleansing breath. Exhale, sigh breath out. And then we're going to slowly roll the body back, bring that left hand to the earth, and then we're going to gently roll ourselves back to center. Go ahead and bring the right hand to the earth, and then let's bring both arms down just to the side for a moment. Just down to your side. Yep, perfect. Just letting the right shoulder just relax for a moment. I want you to notice your heart beating, noticing your breathing. Very good. All right, we're gonna do the same thing on the second side. Left hand's gonna come straight out, and then bring your right hand so it's on right next to your right side of your ribs. And then we're gonna press into that right palm and then roll it back. So you'll notice this side might be much more flexible than the other, or it might have more tension. You can bring that right foot behind the left knee if you want to open that hip a little bit. You can also just stack the legs, remembering to do what feels good to you, but also finding that edge. So we're going to surrender into this pose for about 1.5 minutes. Taking those cleansing breaths, keeping your intention in mind, and also remembering to give yourself some grace. As you let go of any judgment on yourself, remembering that you're doing your best in this practice as well as in life. Good. One more big cleansing breath. And exhale, sigh breath out. We're going to slowly roll it back over to center. And then let's bring our arms down to the side once again. As we let the body kind of get back into its space as we rebound here. Noticing the rate of your breathing, the beating of your heart. Very good. All right, let's slowly bring the hands back to the earth so that your hands are framing your ribs. And we're going to press it up into all fours once again. And then hands are going to be under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Let's just roll through cat and cow a couple times. Inhale, cow. Exhale, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Let's slowly bring it back to a neutral spine. We're going to release our toes, and this time we're going to bring our knees together, sitting back onto our heels once again. We're into a different variation of child's pose. So your knees are together, and you can have that pillow or a block handy if you would like. So this time we're going to take a big inhale, bring your arms all the way up above your head, big stretch. And then exhale, release the arms down. I want you to bring the arms behind your back, interlace those fingers, and then take a big inhale as you open the heart. Straighten the arms. And then as we slowly exhale, we're going to release our belly to our thighs and slowly release our forehead all the way down to the earth or onto that pillow. You can release your arms down to the side. Palms are up. So this pose has many great things. It's great for digestion. It's great to release tension in your back, as well as your neck. Let's take 3 big cleansing breaths here. One more big cleansing breath. And slowly bring our hands back to the earth and bring it up to all fours. Very good. All right. We're going to cross our ankles over once again. Bring it back to our buns. And then having your pillow handy, bring it off to the side or your block. And then we're going to roll down onto our backs. And then we're going to bring our knees in towards our chest, giving ourselves a little hug. And then just rocking from side to side. Giving your hips and your lower back a little attention. And then let's slowly release your feet to the earth. So your knees are bent. Very good. And then we're going to bring your right foot over about the center of your left thigh. And this first time, what I would like you guys to do to open up that hip just a little bit, I want you to press on the right thigh, opening just a little. So we're opening that hip, the outside of the right hip. Very good. Let's take one big cleansing breath here. Exhale, sigh breath out. Relaxing the shoulders. And then we're going to reach through. So I want you to bring that left foot up off the earth. And then we're going to grab a hold of the left thigh. So your hands are interlaced behind the left thigh. There you go. So stretching the right glute, the outside of that right thigh. Let's take one more big cleansing breath here. Slowly releasing that left foot to the earth and releasing the right foot to the earth and letting the knees fall right to left like windshield wipers. Very good. And we'll do that same thing on the second side. So let's bring the left foot over about the center of the right thigh. And then we're going to gently press on the left thigh, really opening that hip, opening the knee. Feeling that little release on the inside of the left thigh. And then we'll go ahead and release that hand and then interlace the fingers. Go ahead and grab behind the right thigh. And then hugging that right thigh in towards the chest a little bit. And you're welcome to press on the left thigh with the left elbow to kind of open the left glute. Remembering this is your practice, so you can pull and kind of stretch as deep as you'd like. You can flex that left foot to add just a little bit more stretch to this. Let's take one more big cleansing breath. And then we'll release that right foot slowly to the earth. And then the left foot to the earth. And then let's bring our arms up and out to the side like cactus arms. We're going to stretch those shoulders just a little bit. And then we're going to bring the bottoms of the feet together. And then we're in reclined butterfly. So you're welcome to soften your gaze or close your eyes. Just to notice how your body begins to open up. Your heart, your shoulders, your core, the inner thighs, the lower back. So bring to mind that intention that you've set. And then we're going to release our arms. We're going to bring our right hand to our belly and our left hand over our heart. Keeping our legs the same. And reclined butterfly. And you're welcome to soften your gaze or close your eyes. As you feel the pull of gravity on your body, on the back side of your body. As you let go of what no longer serves you. As you relax the spine, relaxing your jaw. Releasing your tongue from the roof of your mouth. And noticing your beautiful heart beating. Noticing the rise and the fall of your belly as you breathe. Feeling some inner peace as you offer this self-care to yourself. And as we slowly bring it back to the present, let's all take a big inhale together, filling the lungs completely. And then exhale, release through the mouth, sigh, breath out. Very good. Go ahead and release your hands and bring your hands behind the outside of the thighs, and then slowly bring your knees together. Feet are on the earth. You can let your knees fall right to left like windshield wipers, giving some attention to that lower back, being very slow and gentle with your body. And then bringing it back to center. The knees are at center. And then we're going to take a big full body stretch. So bring your arms up above your head, reaching your toes out, making yourself as tall as you possibly can. You take a big, big stretch. Inhale. And then exhale, release the arms down to the side. And we will prepare for our final pose, our final Shavasana. So in Shavasana, you are welcome to stay just as you are right now, or you're welcome to put a pillow maybe under your knees. And if this gets to be too much on the lower back, at any time you can bend the knees, bringing your feet to the outside of your mat, bring your knees together, depending on your lower back and your comfort level. So finding your relaxation in Shavasana pose. Corpse pose is actually what this is called. Seems a little morbid, but it is what it is. So relaxing the mind and the body. Eyes are closed. And as in the other yin poses that we went through, the 3 laws, finding some kindness as you find your peaceful spot here. Remembering to be still, law number 2. And then just surrender to the time, not thinking about it, not thinking about how much time is left or how much time has passed. Just taking this time to offer yourself some self-care. You deserve it. Relaxing the skin on your face. Relaxing your shoulders. Relaxing your spine, 1 vertebrae at a time. Letting your body melt into your yoga mat. Relaxing your hips, your thighs, and then taking a brief scan of the body and slowly releasing any tension that might be left. As you continue to relax, following along with my voice, as I talk to you briefly about the heart. To change, grow, or evolve, we must practice. Each day we show up in our lives with a willingness to take part in the sweet dance of our lives. When we cultivate life, we understand that the actions we take today are leading us to a higher version of ourselves. And the steps we need to get there take a little discipline, courage, and will. Our practice can take many forms. It could be a walk in the early morning, or the steady sound of your breathing. Maybe it's the way you speak to someone, or the way you pause before you respond. Perhaps it's the decision to let something go instead of latching on more tightly. These are all valid practices if we tether ourselves to them with gentleness. When you have respect for yourself and your life, you make beautiful choices that nourish you, and you surround yourself with others who ignite your sense of dedication and devotion. These acts of self-care light the path that is right for you. Taking one more big cleansing breath before we end this practice. So big inhale, filling the lungs, the body, the soul. Exhale, release all that air. As we slowly bring it back to the present moment, moving your fingers and your toes. And if you would like, taking a big full body stretch. Bring your arms up above the head. Exhale, release your arms down. You can bend your knees, and then giving yourself a little hug, bring your knees in towards your chest. Rocking from side to side. Very good. And then slowly rolling over to your right side. And taking your time as you come up to a simple seated. I want to thank you all for joining me tonight in this Yin Yoga practice. So this is usually all grounding poses, which we were on the ground the whole time. This is probably my favorite practice. Acknowledge how I really feel inside. So I end all my practices with a little quote. And today's, I love this one. It's a very good, and I guess the verse and the quote. So you cannot fix what you will not face. And that is by James Baldwin. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. That's Psalm 23:4. Let's bring the hands to heart center. The light in me sees and honors the light in all of you. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, and namaste.